TimeRust.com proudly presents the Time Rust Brain Trust. Thank you for joining us here on the Time Rust Brain Trust podcast. Guess what today is?
It's Thursday.
It's podcast day.
And in the morning, it will be
Friday.
And
Yay.
what's Friday? What's Friday?
End of the week. End of the work week. Woot.
I don't know what Friday is.
No, the PS3, 4.
PS4 launch day. PS4 launch day.
Yeah.
Booyah. People got their games 2 days ago.
People have been buying Xbox One games and PS4 games. Like I saw someone buy an Xbox One game like a couple days ago, and he posted a picture on Twitter. It was like, it's already begun.
You know, I don't care.
Second Son, yes please.
Yeah, that's not coming out till next year.
Yeah, don't tell me that. I already know.
Yeah, but you can save up and buy one.
I'm not getting my PlayStation 4 till next year anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You can save up and buy a PlayStation 4 next year.
Because unlike some people who aren't even here, I don't need that first day founder achievement that is slightly meaningless.
Well, let's talk about all that here in a little bit.
I'm sorry I had to take that shot. I should wait till Eli got here.
But, you know what? He's not here at the moment. He's hanging with family. He'll be by shortly. But I want to go ahead and say it anyways. So let's do introductions. To my left is not Eli. He'll be here later. To the spirit of Eli's left is Steve.
Yo, what's up, guys?
To Steve's left is Marqees.
What it is,
girls.
folks.
And girls.
And girls, ladies that listen.
Chicks and dudes, always.
Hello, ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, no valviness.
No.
And to my immediate left is Nathan, the end all be all to this podcast, unfortunately.
Hey, if I don't make it work, who will? So let's go ahead and talk about what is up in our lives in a little segment I like to call, What Are You Doing? So, Steve, what are you doing?
What am I doing? That's a good question. Let's see. We'll start this off with I borrowed a game off my good friend Tim Rapson. I've been playing.
Side contributor.
Yeah, I've been playing Persona 4 Arena.
How was Persona 4 Arena?
I'm gonna have a review up for it shortly. It is one of the best fighting games I've played in a long time. If you like Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue, or as the Japanese announcer says it, Blaze Blue, it's fast paced. It's a 4-button fighter. It's got a really easy combo system. You can pick it up and learn it. It's got good techniques. Each character feels unique and different, and it's fun. It's got a slightly fanfic sounding storyline, and it has a lot of characters I recognize and I enjoy, and it's a lot of fun as a fighter. Actually, on Wednesday I hung out with Tim, and he kicked me around for a couple of hours in fighting games.
Didn't Tim go actually to PAX, was it? Or
No, he went to Evo.
He went to Evo, the play
where they have the fighting games.
And I played, what was it? Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which I'm not a big Street Fighter 4. Like, I like Street Fighter 4. I'm not a big amazing fan, but they didn't have Dan Hibiki in this game, so it immediately got a X from me because he is my favorite character.
Wait, is that an X or a cross?
It's an X as in negative.
Oh,
but
because
it did hurt my childhood though when they had Mega Man as one of the fighters, but it was Fat Mega Man from the box art of Mega Man 1, and he had a pistol, and it's awful.
Again, Capcom failing with the Mega Man franchise.
Well, that was Capcom America.
No.
I thought it was Capcom America.
No, that was Capcom
that was
Japan.
Capcom in general.
No.
Yep.
Capcom is a fail.
Capcom is failing hard.
Well,
I'm still waiting for Tekken versus Capcom. Tekken versus Street Fighter has not come out yet from Namco. But anyway, so I played that, and I played some Persona 4 Arena, which was a sweet game, and then I realized that they changed the voice actors for one of my favorite characters, and I'm slightly distraught.
Oh, it's not an easy one. Changes.
Well, she doesn't sound the same. Like, she sounds sort of the same, but not completely the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been attached to Persona 4 for quite some time. Anyway, aside from that, I read Old Man Logan, which was a great book. I had a few problems with it here and there, but the writing was great, the art was good, and the action was amazing. So
I found that I enjoyed Old Man Logan. I thought it was one of the better told stories. Elseworld, I don't want to say Elseworld, that's DC. But it's a better told,
for a self-contained story.
For a self-contained story,
it's great. It flows well.
It flowed well.
It had good cameos. I mean, Ultron 8 was in it, which was funny.
I mean, for those of you who don't know the Old Man Logan story arc, it's a side story, and it's about what happens when the villains get together and decide, hey, let's fight each other's villains. Let's switch heroes.
It's kind of like one of the old, really good it's a really good what if scenario. What if the villains finally won? And it happens exactly how you think it would happen. The villains won, and the world goes to crap.
Yep.
Pretty bad. It becomes post-apocalyptic, cannibalistic Hulk wasteland, which was probably one of the only things I didn't like about the book.
I'm not gonna lie. I was not a fan of the Hulk, the whole Banner clan and
Hulk Banner clan and Banner, one of the greatest minds in the Marvel universe, becoming the
mindless beast,
a hillbilly cannibal, which was the strangest thing ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it was good. It was pretty cool. The way they traumatized, they actually succeeded in traumatizing Wolverine to the point where for 50 years he didn't pop claws or fight anyone. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
But, so I read that book, and I finished training up my second string team in Pokemons. And I caught all the legendaries, and now without opposition, without someone to fight against, I'm done with that game.
I know. I'm training my team right now, Steven,
No, it's not that. It's just I'm kind of tapped out. Eli talks a big game, but he's the only one I haven't beat yet. That's on my friends list. So, aside from that, I looked heavily at the coverage for BlizzCon. Very excited for the expansion of Reaper of Souls for Diablo 3. Very excited for. Well, I'm excited for the expansion of World of Warcraft. Sort of, because they're updating all the really awful old character models that should have been updated 3 expansions ago.
It's about time.
Yeah. I mean, they look great so far, but the fact that they made an expansion, which the explanation of why the expansion is there is time travel, and usually if there's not a blue police box involved, time travel gets dumb. I mean, look at all the dumb time travel episodes of Star Trek. There was a movie based on time travel where they had to go get whales. Dumb.
But there's no there time.
First Contact.
Thank you. First Contact was an awesome time travel movie.
But that's Star Trek Next Generation, not Star Trek.
Well, that's true. Again, Star Trek Next
Umbrella
Generation.
Star Trek.
Say, Star Trek The Next Generation. They're
completely different show.
They have the team to beat.
Completely. Same franchise, just saying.
No, just don't get me started because they have the team to
same
beat.
franchise.
Anyway, so aside from that, Garrosh escapes his imprisonment and goes back in time somehow and takes all of his future knowledge of siege warfare and technology, and helps unite the old horde. They stave off the demon corruption and they become the Iron Horde. And they're now he wants to take them out, build his own dark portal, and take the Iron Horde into the modern day Azeroth and conquer everything, which is kind of cool. Except, I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah. Steve said nay.
Well,
you in what army?
It's called the Alliance, bro. But there's a cool feature where you get to actually build your own base. Like in the Pandarian expansion, you go through rep grinding and you start a farm and you open up different plots of land, blah blah blah. Well, in this one, you actually build and garrison a base. You can get NPCs and allies to garrison it, and it's pretty cool. So I mean, I'm looking forward to more, but
I feel like World of Warcraft is turning into Warcraft.
Yeah, I know, which is why I'm liking it more, because I love me some Warcraft and I hates me some.
You know what? I love Warcraft. I played Warcraft 3, and I enjoyed that game. I
It's
played
a
it in
good
high
game.
school. It was an amazing game. I enjoyed the mess out of it. But I never got in a WoW because I was like, dude, I want to just play by myself. I didn't want to play with other people. And like, I kind of enjoyed playing by myself and going on missions by myself. But again, you know, everyone's into the massively multiplayer online stuff, and that's super for them. No offense to you, Steven. You love I know you love it, but
Well, it doesn't help that it doesn't hurt the fact that I am a huge Warcraft lore buff. Like my friend Brandon, his wife Sarah, and we could just sit and talk for hours about Warcraft stuff. Like we actually went out to a really nice restaurant last week, and on the car ride up, we were just talking about lore, and Brandon and Sarah looked very lost. But you know, that's the way it works, and I love the story. I just hate how time travel has played an integral part in certain things.
time travel. You know what? A lot of people have been abusing time travel. Just look at the Star Trek franchise. You know, they rebooted the series via time travel. The Marvel universe broke the time universe. Don't even get me started.
Wolverine broke time.
Don't even get me started on DC and their abuse of multiverses and time.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit much. I mean,
time and space are two different things.
You're fired.
Nope.
Well, actually, I was thinking of was it Fringe? The last season of Fringe is the result of time travel.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it hurts my brain.
It hurts your brain.
Being encased in amber for 20 years.
Ouch, Ember. All right, Marquise. What are you doing?
Well, I caught up on the New Girl. That was one of my things I was doing.
The show?
The show.
Show's good.
The show is good.
He's just stalking girls.
I love the fact that Coach is back.
Coach is awesome. His character is great.
Coach brings a new dynamic to this series.
I think it brings a better dynamic to this
It does. With Schmidt living across the hall now, I mean, you have all four major characters, major men characters, but he can still come over, but it says he can still have his own separate mini adventure now. But it brings just a nice little dynamic and
mini adventures in his boring bro life.
Yeah, but I mean, like now,
he's got a douchebag jar.
Honestly,
that was one of the best mechanics of the entire first couple of seasons.
Yeah, I like how he took it with him. He's like, and this is mine.
This is mine.
You know, I like, what was it, Damon Wayans Jr. as a comedic actor. I think also he'd be cool to hang with. I think that guy would be a fun time, you know?
Indeed.
We're all hanging out and he's just doing whatever it is he does, you know?
His brothers have a pretty funny show on BET too. I think the name of Second Generation Wayans. Hilarious show. It's just about them trying to make it in Hollywood, and it's amazing. I also watched The Real Husbands of Hollywood, Kevin Hart's show on BET, which is pretty hilarious. It's him, JB Smooth, it's Robin Thicke, Nelly, all those guys. It's the weirdest combination of actors you would think of, but they make it work. Nick Cannon, but they make it work, and it's hilarious. I also been catching up on S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't seen this newest episode just yet.
You're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever.
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s a good show, too.
It's building.
Well, that's the S.H.I.E.L.D.
The Graviton episode was amazing. I thought the Graviton episode was awesome because I'm like, oh my goodness, major Marvel big bad just got announced. It's like they just made a huge Marvel big bad, and no one even knows about it. So that was cool. I'm still catching up on that. The show can be a little faster paced for my thing. I know S.H.I.E.L.D.'s all espionage and stuff, but at the same time, I read Secret Warriors. I'm like, dude, it can be done better.
And it's very family oriented, so
I know
the channel it's on.
I know, and that's why I'm happy that again with the Netflix deal, maybe we can get. We have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as the agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then we can get into some heavy S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff hey, now we can get some nitty gritty S.H.I.E.L.D. doing some wet work stuff S.H.I.E.L.D. teams going in Clay Quartermain's leading the S.H.I.E.L.D. Spec Op team and they're just doing work. I would love to see that. But what else I've been doing? I'm playing Plants vs Zombies 2.
That's a good game.
Which is a fun game. I don't pay for anything.
You shouldn't.
No, I play and I just unlock it stuff. It takes a little longer. But again, you unlock the same amount of stuff, and all the stuff is unlockable. So
it's fun.
and it's fun.
It has smoother animations and actually a story I kind of am interested in because it's all about a taco.
Yep, it's all for a taco.
That's the best thing.
I gotta go back in time.
He's like, that taco was amazing. I'm gonna eat it again.
I'm gonna eat it again.
So good.
But yeah, so I'm working on unlocking a lot of the plants.
Plants are good.
The corn on the cob is still my favorite plant because it shoots the little corn, and then when it shoots the butter, it's like, yes, a well-timed butter hit is amazing because then you stop a zombie in his tracks, and it's like,
I'm still a big fan of the bok choy.
the bok choy is nice. I like the 3-shooter. And shoots the 3-peater. 3-peater. I love the 3-peater because it gets through. I cover 3 rows.
See, I use the Snapdragon for the same thing.
Snapdragon's good too.
And when you do the Snapdragon, when you hit it with plant food, it like torches 9 squares.
Yeah.
But you know, the 3-peater, when you give it the plant food and it starts waving around the lines of peas and stuff, it reminds me of Contra.
Yes.
I feel like I should be running through going like
Spread.
Yeah. Good old Contra.
I read the first arc of the Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman arc. Chantel bought it from Comic-Con, and I just reread it.
What you think?
And it was amazing. The introduction of the Night of Owls, the Court of Owls, and just like that man realizing that, hey, baby, I don't know everything about Gotham City like I thought I did. That realization was amazing. And like you see his new resolve, like, you know what, I'm going to end this. This is my city. Epic scene of him punching Dick Grayson in the face was amazing. He just turned and cold cocked him, and like,
Epic scene was epic.
Yeah,
I saw that. I read that comment.
And he picked him up, and he was like, "Huh, you were supposed to be one of them, huh? But now you're a Bat family." But yeah, it was a good book. Still reading Percy Jackson a little bit. The House of Hades. It's been a slower read for me. But nonetheless, I'm still reading it. Saw the Divergent trailer, which was pretty awesome. My sister is just getting me into that. It's like the Hunger Games, except cooler. And they have guns. And it stars the would have been Mary Jane, Sinead Woodley. She was supposed to be Mary Jane in the second one, but they cut her out. The new Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Catching up on TV shows. So I saw Thor.
Thor was good.
Thor was good.
We'll be posting that soon on DimeRuts.com.
Yeah.
Both video and written reviews.
Bah, bah, bah.
I'm actually the video this time, which is pretty
I know.
crazy.
Steve is
Pretty crazy.
So, well, with that case, Nathan Handy, sir, what have you been doing?
What have you been doing?
Let's see. Went to go see Thor: The Dark World this weekend. Liked it a lot. I'm
Like it
glad.
lots.
Went to go see it.
Well, you know, we're the only 3 members of the team who actually saw it.
Yeah.
Because Eli,
he stayed and did BlizzCon.
yeah, and in fact, he dislikes our local theater. We love our local theater, basically. We love our local theater
Yes.
a lot.
Yes, because they hook us up.
Not just because they hook us up, but
No,
I've never
no.
had a bad experience with them.
I never really had a bad experience.
Just because they don't have amazing stadium seating.
Yeah, although it does get a little annoying. They need to replace some of the seats.
It does, but I guess what it is I've been seeing movies in that theater, in that mall, since I was a small kid. Like, in the Regal Cinemas at that mall, I have seen and experienced some amazing films. I saw Starship Troopers 9 times. You know? Because it's an amazing film, don't make that face.
Dude,
You know,
I wanted to see.
saw-
I wanted to see the riff tracks in Athens. By the way, they did the riff tracks of that, and I wanted to see that. And
I saw all the Ninja Turtle movies with my dad in those theaters. All the Lord of the Rings with my friends in those theaters. So it's like I've got a lot of sentimental value invested in those theaters.
Technically, you didn't see all the...
They were relocated.
Yeah, I was going to say, because originally they were split up, and there were 2 theaters, and then in another part of the mall there were 3, and then they combined into a megaplex, which was awesome. I really liked the downtown cinemas also.
Those were good.
Those were good. And then I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Marqees, you weren't here, so
no, but
Jungle Drive-In?
no, but the
Jungle Drive-In was awesome. It's where I first saw Jurassic Park.
Jungle Drive-In was awesome. Drive-ins are awesome.
Yes, they are.
But no, it was over by the local high school that isn't on the south side, where there's a CVS now. Do you remember that theater? Do you remember the name?
No.
Me neither.
You were like, I was hoping you would.
I was hoping you would. You know what I watched there?
What?
The Wizard. Wow. What is that? It's a power glove.
California.
Oh man, that's
Super Mario 3. Yeah, you know,
a new game.
had to stop there, man. I remember when I bought Super Mario 3.
Awesome.
I was a
Lucas.
kid. Like that game was amazing. Like the box was like gold or something, and I was just like, "Yeah, this is the greatest thing ever." We actually had to go to the Toys R Us. The closest one was about 45 minutes or so away.
When
we
Toys
didn't
R
have
Us
one.
was the only, for the longest time in our area, Toys R Us was the only place to buy video games.
It really, really was. And then we had like a hobby store for like 3 years.
We got a Babbage's. We had a Babbage's for a hot second.
Well, the what was it? It was like games and stuff, or video games and whatever. And they had a Neo Geo in the back, and you could play it for like
Neo Geo.
Dude, it was the best. They had a Neo Geo hooked up to surround sound, and it was like a 27-inch tube TV. When it's like, oh, dude,
27-inch tube TV.
that's huge.
That's the tip of TV technology.
Neo Geo.
Dude, Neo Geo was the bomb, especially if you're into fighting games, man. I sit back there and play Art of Fighting and some other like old school games. And you know, had the scaling in and out, and the action was fast and frenetic.
It was SNK versus Street Fighter. Neo Geo. It was like SNK versus Capcom was a really good one for the Pocket Fighter.
Well, yeah, and then they also had those on the Xbox and stuff. But yeah, the SNK games were just so fun. So much. Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury.
Samurai Showdown.
Why haven't they remade Samurai Showdown yet?
Because they keep releasing crappy games. They did like a 3D Samurai Showdown, and it was terrible.
It was awful. It was
I want Capcom. I want somebody to buy the rights to that junk and be like, okay, you know what? I don't want to say Capcom because they do some fighting games lately, but I'm talking about someone to buy. Like, you know what? Let's get a Samurai Showdown game because that game was amazing. I spent hours of my.
I remember when they used to have Samurai Showdown 1 at the pizza place across from the high school.
Oh yeah,
hours of my life.
They claimed so much of my monies.
That game so good, especially when it was in the arcade back in the day at our local mall. Oh, I played it so much. Anyways, let's see. Well, I watched Thor. Back to that, and then played some more Splinter Cell.
Where are you with Splinter Cell? Can I ask?
Yeah, you know the what was it? You guys are taking off in the airplane, and then just before you take off, a team hits you out of nowhere. So I'm pretty far along.
Oh, so the plane's on the attack right now.
Well, I just finished that level.
Okay.
And it's where they had the drone come in real quick and just hit some jeeps that were coming in. That was fun. I liked it. That game's really good. It's really good. That's why, like, if I have some free time, I have the energy, which usually is a day that's off for me. I play it. Let's see, what else? Watch the newest Blacklist. I'm getting caught up on Revolution.
I gotta get caught up on Blacklist.
Dude, Blacklist is amazing. Every episode is better than the last one. So epic.
I'm happy it got picked up for the full season, and I'm happy that, you know, I'm hoping that that James Spader gets nominated for Best Actor in a TV series for the Golden Globes.
He's so good
because he steals the show in every scene of that.
And he doesn't just like chew the scenery or anything. He's flat out acting well. And I tell you what, you know, there's been a lot of great shows coming out, but Blacklist, it's between Blacklist and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does some really cool stuff, but then Blacklist is so good. But then you also have Sleepy Hollow, which is fun. It's just a fun show, you know? So I got caught up on Sleepy Hollow. I mean, I wasn't behind. I'm behind on Revolution. It's doing some really cool stuff where the remnants of the American government are trying to take over. You know, what basically is what was formerly the United States, which is now just splinter groups fighting amongst each other. And what was the two most powerful things at the time, in the end of season 1, the U.S. government basically put a worm or whatever, a mole, in with the good guys and the bad guys, and nuked Philadelphia and Atlanta. So,
wow. Because
we had power on Earth again for like 5 minutes, just enough time to launch the missiles and nuke, and then it turned back off, which was a bummer. And then they're like, okay, our lives are junk. So they then went and did their own thing for a while, and 6 months later, the show picks back up. Oh yeah, and one of the guys discovers that he has an ability because for some reason the nanites have chosen him. He's basically like a cross between Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. He was a billionaire programmer before the lights went out, and now he's just a school teacher. And he discovered that, oh yeah, by the way, the nanites and I have this bond, and he got shot or stabbed at one point, survived, and he can catch people on fire.
How?
He gets mad.
He's got the extremists.
He basically does. I mean, he really does. It's the coolest thing.
He's like Red Hulk, where when he gets angry, things catch on fire.
Someone tried to kill him and his girlfriend, and not this week's episode.
Did he breathe fire on him?
No, he went he just looked at him and was like, ah. A circle formed around the one of the bad guys, and then he just caught on fire. Like a circle.
He has
the extremists. It's really cool. But he uses his mind to use it, instead of just he's breathing fire or
I'm surprised
whatever, blowing
that
up.
He's got the ability to turn machines on.
So he's got
pyro. And then next thing you know, he's
pyrokinetic.
He's building a suit of iron. He's calling himself Steel Man. He's flying around and shooting stuff.
Not this guy. He's quite portly. I would not want to see that. What else?
Well, maybe all the nanites and the fire abilities just melt the fat away. And he'll come in the next season. He's finally sculpted abs.
He's
ripped.
He's been working in a steel mill. It's like
they just show scenes of him with the hammer on the anvil, and he's like
the AC/DC kicks in.
Wow.
And since he's bonded with the nanites, he's the only one that can have power as long as it's the technology is wrapped around him like an iron suit of armor.
Mm-hmm.
He starts shooting fire out of his hands.
Mm-hmm. Shoots a big boom of light from his chest. Ah!
So, anyways,
up top.
Yes. And let's see, this is that time of year where it's gift giving time, not because of Christmas, but because my girlfriend's birthday is this month.
Mine is too.
My girlfriend's anniversary, and mine with her, is at the end of the month, and then Christmas. So it's like every few weeks I have to buy gifts.
Poor
I will be poor after this is all said and done.
You wouldn't be quite so poor if you didn't buy junk movies.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, I bought White House Down.
and White House
Down.
Down.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I watched White House Down, which was
crap,
garbage compared to Olympus Has Fallen,
which is getting a sequel.
White House Down is essentially the Kmart brand of Olympus Has Fallen.
Mm-hmm. It really is,
it's the great value brand Olympus Has Fallen.
Jamie Foxx was token black villain for Obama, and it was awful. And Maggie/Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, and that was awful. And
basically, no one was good at doing anything, and I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that the movie should have made.
The best actor in the movie was James Woods as the bad guy. He was amazing.
No, James Woods is James Woods.
He's James Woods.
James Woods is also turning into an old sociopath. But that's
James
another
Woods.
Story.
So we've hired you to play this role of this villain. He's like, well, what's my motivation?
You're James Woods.
Here's a script. Just be yourself and go.
Actually, it was a combination of he has brain cancer and he was mad that they're pulling the troops out of the Middle East because he wanted us to just carpet bomb it to nothingness. And then he told his wife, they were trying to use his wife as a ploy to stop being evil and, doing evil things. And he said, I'm doing it for Jimmy, or whatever his son's name was. I'm doing it for our son. And because of what happened to him. And she's like, do it! You do it! I was like, wow. Okay, I don't know.
But Jimmy was hit by a drunk driver when he was walking out of high school.
No.
What does this have to do with carpet bombing the Middle East?
He died over there. By the way, this week was Veterans Day, so
it's fantastic. I got that day off.
Not salute the truth.
Thanks for all the troops, for all your service.
I salute you, sir, and all your service, past and present.
I was actually really mad that I had to work, not because I had to work on Veterans Day. Well, no,
you had to work in general?
I had to work in general. But no, it really is because I had to work on Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is a very important holiday that should be observed whenever possible. I
Exactly.
went to a parade.
It should be every month.
Bob and Tom are doing Veterans Week.
Bob and Tom.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, some of their shout-outs are pretty good.
Shout-outs. All right, guys. Yeah, and, bought, I was going to say my girlfriend's birthday, Christmas, Easter, whatever, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Extravaganza.
Yeah. So, but I was gonna say I got her a T-shirt for Charlie Murder,
Yay!
and then a T-shirt for BioShock Infinite.
Yay!
It's got the artwork for the crow.
Why are you
Elixir.
saying stuff if she'll listen to the podcast?
Because she doesn't know what else I got her, and those aren't the big gifts. And you know you want to know what those are. Because I stood there and
Oh,
she's
it's like that stuff you told me about that I'm not supposed to talk about.
If you like, you should put a ring on it.
Oh, snap! You just went there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, you can't even grab a gun. That's awesome.
There we go. Oh, it's jammed.
Oh, look.
There we go.
My cover. My cover. Oh, my cover. My boy had my back.
Oh.
I've got more ammo than you, dirtbag!
Ew. All right. So, anyways,
My boy Steve had my back. He had me covered.
to be fair, I did get to shoot Steve in the ear, though.
Yeah, it's bleeding!
Well, I use the little
Those
discs.
are jerk faces.
They hurt a lot. That's why I like that gun.
I don't. You're right, they do. You're like, oh, it's a dart. You're like, oh, my ear. It's like you're like, oh, let's have a snowball fight, and then someone gets hit in the ear, and everyone has to stop. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but I'm the jerk that actually takes the snowballs and puts them in water for a second, and then lets them freeze, and then. Anyways, so.
Or you put a rock in the middle of it.
Also, I'm looking forward to watching the movie Byzantium. It's a vampire movie with some great actresses in it, but I'm going to have more about that later. Later being next week, hopefully. I'll get it in the mail by Netflix soon.
Okay, well.
Let's move on to some fun stuff. Let's see, Marqees, you got the movie breakdown?
Yeah, with 5% left.
I'm going to go ahead and cover games because we know what's coming out.
Yay!
Bring us the news.
Obviously, Thor: The Dark World was number one with $85.7 million.
No way! That's something I didn't expect.
Number two was was Bad Grandpa, was $11.3 million.
I still need to see that movie. It looks funny.
Number four was Freebirds with $11.1 million.
What?
Why?
Because I have a problem with turkeys. How you saw it with cranberry sauce? That joke alone, I want to go see it because the cranberry sauce joke. But
What cranberry sauce?
Freebirds is about turkeys who go back in time and they try to take turkeys off the menu for Thanksgiving. And
one of them is the turkey that the president pardoned.
Yeah. And so what happens is that when they make a joke like there's a problem with turkeys, and he goes, "How do you solve cranberry sauce?" And I was like, "Ha ha!" He made a Thanksgiving joke with cranberry sauce, and it was cute. It was funny.
That's the entire movie.
Oh
yeah,
it's a kids movie. Shut up your face.
And it's turkeys versus the pilgrims or something at some point.
It's a kids movie. Shut up your face. Number four was Las Vegas with $11 million.
Okay.
I'll take Ender's Game was number 5 with $10.2 million.
That's stupid. It's a good movie.
Dumb.
Yeah, we gotta support that.
You got Han Solo in that film, right?
Kind of.
Well, it kind of picked the wrong month to come out, to tell you the truth.
It should have been last month.
Gravity was number 6 with $8.5 million. Number 7 was 12 Years a Slave, holding strong at the 7th spot with $6.6 million. Number 8 was Captain Phillips with $5.7 million. About Time was number 9 with $4.7 million, which I want to go see that.
Is that a movie about time travel?
It's time travel, and what happens is he meets a girl, and he's like, and he has the ability to go back in time and correct his mistakes with the girl.
Okay.
So it's like Groundhog Day.
No. This is the butterfly effect from the makers of Love Actually. Mind blown. Because he's not traveling back in time, like going into something and then traveling.
And screwing.
He's
up the
doing
world.
it in like his own body.
He's doing it in his own body. He's like butterfly effect basically, and he can go back and go. Oh, he can go fix the mistakes he did at that time.
So it's more romantic movie, less screwing up the whole world.
Yeah,
and it's got Rachel McAdams, who was in was it the Time Traveler's
wife?
Yeah, which I find amusing that she's in another love movie about time travel. Anyways,
and number 10 was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too.
Okay.
The Butterfly Effect was supposed, I guess, a romance movie.
No,
I mean
it was just Ashton Kutcher
trying to
produce.
Stick to producing.
I'm sorry. I do this every podcast.
I know,
really,
it drives me crazy because you're like, I'm going to just touch the table around the mic and it
I'm
makes all
sorry.
kinds of noise. I don't know why you
I have
do
to do
it.
something with my hands. I'm a very handsy person.
And you just hit the microphone.
Oh, we can't hear it
Yeah, we can't hear it.
right now.
right now. We'll hear it later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're going to hear the scissors through the ear.
So.
Let's talk about the big thing, which is the release of the PS4.
Yay, it's tomorrow.
We're going to have some unboxing videos up tomorrow, hopefully.
So good.
And then some gameplay. I don't know if we'll have any gameplay here soon because Eli was being lackadaisical on that, so we'll see. But since he was, then I'm going to say Knack is this generation's cameo. And I mean it. Because guess what? The game doesn't look all that interesting, and I don't really care. Knack is basically a particle-based game where you're this little creature that can have little things on it, and then it's a big creature. And the whole time, it looks like something made out of some sort of toy, like what is it called? Kinects. Remember the?
Oh,
yeah.
So it's a lot. What was that game called? It was.
Oh, it's a lot like Cameo, where you can be different.
It wasn't Cameo. It was. It was a
and-
different game that was. It
It's
was
like Katamari Damacy and Cameo had a baby, and no one cared.
It was a PlayStation Network exclusive game. It wasn't.
No clue. Don't have PSN network.
It wasn't an Evolution.
Yeah,
game.
seriously, I haven't.
I don't remember what it was called, but I have it. It's. I think what you're talking about is by the same people that did Flow. Flow was a really awesome game, and all you did is you start out as a basic single-celled organism, and it was all very beautifully done. It was a game programmer art student final project, and what you did is you just swim around and you eat things, and the more you eat, the more complex the graphic of your creature becomes, and you go up and down through different levels of the world, and it was it had really no point except for just to waste time, and it had good music, and it was chimed in, and it was beautiful. I played it for hours for some strange reason, but that's essentially what I've seen of that game. Is it looks like a better version of Flow, and I would play that game.
Knack is nothing like that because it's a platformer that has a little bit of the elements of what you're speaking, but it's more about, puzzle based where, I need to get rid of all the crap that's on me so I can shrink down and get under these laser beams to sneak in and help out my friends. Because the whole thing has a story along the lines of, something on Saturday morning cartoons. It's a little harder than, say, Cameo or Lego. It's a lot like the Lego games, really.
Okay.
So it's like a harder Lego.
Well, you have
game.
you build stuff or deconstruct stuff to move along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, except you're using your character to build and deconstruct. You're deconstructing your character and rebuilding your character.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right.
Sounds like a little bit of Flow meets Little Big Planet.
And also, it reminds me a lot of Cameo because it's a third-person action game that really isn't very inventive, but it looks nice for a first-generation, next-generation game,
Yeah.
So it's not supposed to be
it's a
an
showcase
A title
to say
or a AAA title.
It's the starting point. It's the starting line, because every game that I've seen that's coming out for PlayStation 4 and Xbone looks awesome.
It does. I mean,
they
all look really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm an Xbox person. I've been converted to Xbox, but I look at the PS4 games today. Some of them look really good, and maybe down the line I'll pick up a PS4.
One of the only games I'm really, really, really excited for, aside from Second Son, is
Destiny.
Destiny looks amazing, but the one game, because it's a Bungie game, real Bungie game.
Well,
But another game that I'm actually looking forward to is the new Killzone game. That game looks awesome.
That's the only game that's a retail game that is a PlayStation 4 exclusive that anyone should care about, in my opinion.
I don't know. Second Son looks pretty awesome.
well, that comes
I'm
out
talking
next
about
year.
launch.
Okay.
We're not doing the Nintendo 3DS launch window where the launch window is 5 months. No, we're
I
talking
don't-
about at launch.
I understand.
Because
Usually
honestly,
launch titles are pretty weak, but the Shadowfall looks awesome.
it looks pretty good. It
The
looks.
commercials look amazing. All this. Commercials.
Let's be
Their
fair.
previous commercials for Killzone 2 and 3 were great.
If you look at the PlayStation lineup at launch, it's probably the best
It's
game that they released for a launch
It's-
because PlayStation 2 had nothing.
PlayStation 3 had a very weak launch.
And PlayStation 1 had, like, Ridge Racer.
The only reason why PlayStation 3 had a weak launch was all it had was Metal Gear.
No, that's
No.
PlayStation 2.
No, Metal Gear 4.
Or no.
Metal Gear 4 was not a launch title
No.
for PlayStation 3.
It
No.
was. That's
No.
what it was.
No, I
One
was
of the
thinking
launch
of
titles,
Promise of
it had
PlayStation.
like
Or Promise of
Summoner
Metal Gear.
and a couple other games. Eventually, there was Resistance: Fall of Man, and
It was not good.
Resistance 1 was an amazing shooter.
No, I was talking about the launch.
Oh, the launch. Yeah, usually the newest generation, every launch has been kind of weak, especially on the Xbox.
Yeah, I think the Xbox launch is going to be a little weak because they don't have a lot of games.
The Xbox, well, that's the problem. That's always been the plague of Xbox and Nintendo, is their in-house titles some of their in-house titles are good, but they lack the initial oomph of third-party support. Like Nintendo's in-house titles are really good because they're Nintendo, but those are the only good ones they have on their systems. On their handheld, it's amazing. But then again, when you play one Zelda game, you've played them all. You play one Mario game, you know exactly how the Mario games are going.
If you want more, there's more. If you don't want more, then don't buy more.
Then you don't. But there's no innovation. That's where Nintendo's dying. That's why they're
Yes.
But if you look at the Xbox One had
the original Xbox.
excuse me, the original Xbox had what? It had Fusion Frenzy, or as my friends like to call it, Fusion Hamster Ball Frenzy.
There's Fusion Frenzy. What was it?
Was Halo one?
Yes.
Halo.
See, that's the thing. Xbox had one of the greatest games of all time released on the original Xbox.
They had to buy a company because they were like, you know what, our launch lineup is so weak and awful.
That and then they were the other problem with Microsoft at the time was this was their first attempt at a console with the OG Xbox.
And then PlayStation 2.
And PlayStation was established already. So when the PS2 dropped, people were like, "Oh, we're going to buy PS2 because PlayStation was established already." It took time for everyone to get an Xbox.
Yeah, but then again, also with the 360, its launch wasn't amazing. I was surprised that 360 that Xbox hasn't like if I were Xbox personally, if I was Microsoft, I would have a Bungie. Excuse me, I would have a Halo game every launch.
Okay.
Because that would be Halo is the big IP that sells systems.
Let's talk about that just because,
But then again,
the
they
Xbox 360 launch wasn't terrible for one reason. It did have, what was it? The Project Gotham Racing. It did have some other, cameos, just like Knack. So it had like all its little niche markets. But the one game it had that was only also available on computer, Call of Duty 2, which was really good. That was right at the height of the popularity of World War II, and it was probably the best World War II game. And I think it still is.
Call of Duty. Well, see, I'm a big fan of the original Call of Duty game because the Allied Assault expansion was so good. Where it added the Battle of the Bulge.
Was that Call of Duty or Medal of Honor?
No, Call of Duty. It's called Allied Assault.
No, I remember Allied Assault. I just thought that was Medal of Honor.
I enjoy. You know what? I enjoy the original Medal of Honor games better than the Call of Duty World War II games.
See,
I love World War II stuff. I love it, and it just felt more authentic for me. I played both of them, but it just.
I remember some of my favorite moments were Call of Duty moments, and then they started with the stranger, like the unnumbered Call of Duty games, which weren't as good, and then the original company fell apart or got half fired, and it was a mess. So now Call of Duty is the
They fell apart after Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare.
Oh.
Yeah. See.
It was Medal of Honor.
It was Medal.
It might have been Allied Offensive or something like that. It was the only expansion for Call of Duty 1.
Actually, the thing is, you know who made it though? The guys that made it, actually, I think this is where you're going with it. It was Vince Zampella and Jason West.
Yes.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Zampella and West were.
They left and went and made
Respawn.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, they made Respawn, and now they're Respawn now.
Well, yeah, they made Infinity Ward.
There was an expansion pack for the original Call of Duty that added the Battle of the Bulge and added a couple other things in it. It was one of the best expansion packs I've had. And then Call of Duty kind of took off and became the Madden of shooters. which was awful.
That's Activision's fault.
Yeah,
Because
well,
they
that
ran
is
the other pieces.
Activision's fault. I mean, that's
well, that's what Activision does. Look what happened with the Tony Hawk franchise. It became
Tony Hawk was the first.
Tony Hawk. The first
3 Tony Hawk games
were
great.
amazing, and then they got in every year there was a Tony Hawk game. It was like, okay, enough. And then they came out. Oh, guess what? Now we got a skateboard you can jump on. I'm like, really? I don't want to do all that.
I can't skateboard in real life. Do I want to skateboard in real life to play a video game?
No, I'm like, no, just give me a controller and let me just go and
See, that's the thing. It's like
put
normally
moon gravity on and just
United Offensive.
United Offensive. That's
Bam.
what it is. Now, I'm just saying that normally launch is weak. It will have a couple good games to showcase what the system can do, but with a Killzone game as one of the launch games for the system, Killzone has the last 2 Killzone games have been amazing. I mean, I played the heck out of Killzone 2 and 3. The online was solid. It was like Battlefield, but minus all of the boring slow parts.
Battlefield was. But anyway,
But it was good.
in the end, I mean, again, it's just launch titles. It will get better, especially when E3 rolls around. We'll see the meat of the next gen games.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now
And
that
we'll see-
everyone has their hands
And
on
everyone
the
by then everyone will
developer
have,
kits.
Yeah, by then everyone will have time to open them up and play with them and see what they can do, and then we can decide next year. We can decide, hey, what system is truly better at the time.
Well, no,
So,
it's
yeah.
just I don't.
I don't
That's
technically care.
Truthfully, I mean, if you want to look at the basics, both systems are almost identical.
Identical, and
hardware-wise.
that's what
Slightly different RAM for the PlayStation 4, but what it will really come down to is in-house titles and third-party support. Does Microsoft or Sony have what it takes to gain the third-party support without throwing millions of dollars for exclusive rights?
No, they don't.
So, I mean, Nintendo itself has, even though they don't even have a 4th-gen system,
Nah.
They won't.
Nintendo has...
Wii U, Wii Who.
Yeah, their consoles...
Nintendo might as well just drop their console
go
stuff,
straight for handheld.
go straight for handheld, and dominate handheld.
Nintendo's got awful third-party support for its systems.
You know what's funny though? Nintendo considers its biggest rival Apple. You know?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Nintendo's smoking some crack.
no, the reason being they think that the iPad and iPods and iPhones are stealing all of their clientele. So it's like,
Well,
well,
they're
what?
What?
Because they're handheld. The
Handhelds. It's the
handheld.
3DS versus the iPhone.
I would
Yeah,
have a
but
3DS.
that's such a skewed view because I can't. It's not like a PlayStation Vita where I can turn the Vita over and hook up a Skype call.
Yeah.
You know, the PSV is, if you think about it, the PSV is more of a contender to Apple than Nintendo.
It's a much better handheld.
Well, it's a
in
much
terms
more
of power.
it's a more complex
versatility.
system. Yeah, I mean that's the difference between a 3DS has a lot of capabilities and gimmicks, but it still does not match a good high powered cell phone.
And this is why Nintendo needs to drop the console and start focusing on handhelds, because
Nintendo
Nintendo has an ability to reinvent handhelds. They can.
No, I disagree. I think Nintendo lost its innovation ability a long time ago for the option to make more money.
But see, I'm saying if they drop the console, they'll all that focus on console and Wii stuff, they kill all that stuff and put all that brain power back into handhelds.
All they're going to do is end up with a good handheld system. It's not going to be the best handheld system by far.
I love the fact
Nintendo has showed us that they will favor making money with tried and true methods over innovation any day. That's just what the Japanese are doing.
I love the fact that, well, Sony's also Japanese, but
But
I
Sony
love the fact that
heavily has influence from its Western branch too.
yes, Nintendo had some okay ideas,
Yeah.
but then everyone else took those, ran with them, made them better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can take your game and go anywhere with it with the PS Vita now and the PlayStation 4 and the right network connection. Whereas, oh, hey, I can do that with my Wii U. What's the Wii U? It's a tablet with a more powerful Wii. Who has a similar idea? Well, Microsoft came up with Smart Glass pretty quickly, and guess what? It works really well. So, yeah, what's original here? We have Mario. We have the Nintendo franchises.
And some Sony tablets also hook up with Sony brand tablets will also use the same operating system and hook up directly to the PlayStation 4. Everyone's doing everything nowadays. That's the thing about Nintendo. They're not doing something. They might start something, but it's not good enough or unique enough to stand out.
They really shouldn't have bothered making a new, console because they made a lot of money off the Wii. But for them, they're right. Their money should be spent on mobile. Mm-hmm. They should have. I'm not going to say a Nintendo phone, but maybe a Nintendo phone.
If here's the thing, they
officially licensed Nintendo phone.
Their eStore for their 3DS has a larger wealth of games that I want to play than the Wii does. Like I look at the Wii, there's only one game. There's two games. Two games I want to play on the Wii U. And one is the Wonderful 101, and the other is Bayonetta 2, because Nintendo picked up exclusivity for that.
What about Zombie U?
Yeah.
I've heard good things, but I wouldn't mind playing the Wonderful 101.
The Wonderful 101 is an awesome game. I played it over at Tim's on Wednesday, and it was way sweet. He looked over, he goes, "This is the reason why I bought a Wii U." Kind of like I have a friend that bought a Wii just to play the newer Metroid game, the third person shooter one. He also bought. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, if you're into the game and its lore and stuff, it's different. If you're a fan,
I have complaints with it. But
it took it back closer to Metroid. To
was
Super
it Metroid?
Super Metroid was
Super Metroid was freaking amazing.
Was it Metroid Other M or something like that?
That was an awful game.
Well, that was the third-person game, right?
No, Metroid Prime was the first FPS in the Metroid universe.
Metroid Prime was good.
No, I was talking about when you said third-person game. Would you mean first-person or third-person?
It's a side-scroller. Most of the game is a side-scroller.
I don't know.
And is it the one where she's in a zero suit?
I don't remember. It's a Wii game.
There was one where she's in a zero suit.
Yeah, there's a really bad game, and then there's some good games for Metroid on the Nintendo. That's why I was like, wait, which
Metroid
one?
Zero Mission was an amazing game for that.
Well, no, that's great.
Yeah, because it's a remake of the original Metroid, because the original Metroid is unplayable.
My uncle beat the crap... My uncle, who, rest his soul...
He beat that game?
He beat the crap out of Zero Mission. He was speed running it. The man was like almost...
That game was built for speed runs. That game was built for speed runs.
So good. But let's get back to the launch, though, just a little bit, because...
I think PlayStation right now, as it seems, it has a single strong launch game, which is more than I can say for the launch of its other... I mean, Resistance Fall of Man wasn't a launch title anyway. Neither was Lair or Motorstorm. Motorstorm was a great game. It was basically you have a week launch, and then like the month or two afterwards, you bring out your strong titles so that you can cement the people's purchase where they go.
But are they going to have it out in time for Christmas? That's the thing. Like, are they going to have anything
will.
good in time for Christmas? Because really,
Sony always delivers.
Sony and Microsoft are both relying heavily on third parties, and even then, they're not. The third parties aren't even delivering as much as they could.
That's what you're supposed to do. The third party should be your bread and butter.
This is what they're doing. Making it rain.
They're just throwing down the money. Like, okay, people are going to want Assassin's Creed, people are going to want Call of Duty, and then they're going to want Battlefield 4.
And that's what...
Well, that's the thing. It's a supply and demand market. If people want certain games, you got to get them.
And I really, I'm kind of interested in Ghosts more so than I thought I would be, but I'm not like, chomping at the bit to play it. Battlefield 4, I would buy either cheaper.
I want Square Enix to release Kingdom Hearts
3,
1.5 and 2.5 for the Xbox.
I don't.
Because if 3 is getting released for the Xbox One, I want to be able to play 1.5 and 2.5 on the Xbox One or the Xbox as well.
I don't know if anyone, because I don't know. It's basically the people that would buy that on the Xbox 360. Most of them already have it on some other form. Like, say, they already own the PS3, and then they got the high-def version there.
It took me forever to sell my PlayStation 2 only because I had Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I fought with my soul for a long time before I sold my PS2 because I was like, do I really want to give this up? Because I've got Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and I'll play anytime I want to.
So let's talk about, just for next week, the Xbox One is coming out, and we're going to be covering that a little bit. We're going to have an unboxing video of the PS4 up, hopefully this weekend. And, I'm looking forward to the Xbox One coming out, and this is just me. I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I really am looking forward to the games that are on the Xbox One versus the other because they've got a good racing game. They've got a good...
I don't play racing games.
I don't really either.
Unless it has
couple.
the word kart in it and Mario, I don't normally play it.
Sonic All-Stars Transformed, I heard, is really good, though.
Mm.
Like, it's that game that if you don't have a Nintendo system, but you want a Mario Kart-style game, that you should buy. But anyways...
See, I've got Mario Kart. I'm about to get the 3DS Mario Kart, and that's all I need.
Geez.
Unless it's a Gran Turismo game, and then I could probably...
I would rather have Forza, but then again... Sony's gotten smart, and they're coming out with a new series that focuses on social aspects, which is really what they should have done with the last GT game.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me started with what's wrong with the last GT
Exactly. Game. It took too long.
Oh, Turismo?
Yeah.
It was a good game, but it needed something.
Yeah, see, that's...
It's like Skyrim. It's kind of like how the Elder Scrolls games, you sit around, you're going, you know what? I wish I could hook up with my friends and play this game.
That you can't because
it's an Elder Scrolls. But now,
now
you're playing GT. You're like, I love modding these cars. I love racing these tracks. I wish I could share with my friends.
Yeah, which
I love that. I love that
Xbox
Xbox is doing that. That you can. They're coming up with.
Well, they had that in the last two.
But they're
Forza
also
games.
The Elder Scrolls are doing that too with the new gun come out for the new system.
Where it's online.
With the online.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the new online game.
But then I was looking also Rise, which could be good or it could be mediocre.
Or it could be awful.
Then we have Dead Rising 3, which is Capcom's last-ditch effort to make some money. I mean, this just...
Capcom is kind of tanking.
It reminds me of they had innovation for a while, then they gave up, and then they came back to innovation.
What it was is they either fired or... Either all the people that had innovation...
left
or got fired. I mean, Mega Man... The guy that created Mega Man no longer works for Capcom.
I know, and that's really hardcore, Oh, by the way, recently released was a picture of the Mega Man X suit for the main character in Dead Rising 3. Yeah, you can be Mega Man X. I think that's cool.
I think that's just a cheap
money
Capcom money grabbing scheme. And don't fall for it.
Without the ability to have the figure of Mega Man,
give us a Mega Man, or don't tease us with it.
Yeah, I want a new Mega Man game. I want a new one that's not 8-bit and lame.
Yeah. What, you didn't like 9?
No, it was too hard.
Yeah.
Mega Man's supposed to be hard.
Were like,
Mega Man's supposed to be hard. That's the whole point of the Mega Man series.
I breezed through pretty much every Mega Man game on the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation. And I loved all the Mega Man and Mega Man X games. Those were great.
I loved when they made the Mega Man. Was it Mega Man 7 or 8 that was on the PlayStation 1, and it was beautiful.
It was a beautiful game.
And I was like, oh yeah,
crisp 2D graphics,
hand drawn, baby. Oh yeah.
And then nothing after that.
That's because I brought this up. I don't know if you were here for this podcast,
Probably
but
not.
I brought it up a while ago that Sony had a whole thing with. Yeah, we can have your occasional 2D games, but we want 3D games. So
they wanted to showcase the power and innovation of their system.
I understand that
because it did what Nintendo wanted to do, but much better.
Just Capcom needs to.
If
Capcom wants to survive, they need to
jettison the life pod that has their current CEO and commanding chief people. Jettison it out in the middle of space and hire a whole bunch of people
and retool RE.
See, the Eastern game makers have people that have been there for a long time, and they still carry the same business model. You get the horse that made you money, and then you beat it to death over the next 30 years.
That's what killed me about the Resident Evil games, because
they were good, and then they became really bad.
Well, they made 4. And 4 was amazing.
4 was amazing. 4 and 2 were the best games.
Yes, and then they made 5 and 6, and those were garbage. And they made Operation Raccoon City.
5 was garbage.
And it made me really disappointed. Awful. I like the fact that it had co-op, but I just didn't want to play it at all.
I didn't like the resuscitation mechanic, but if look at this one boss fight, the game. If you look at 4, what Leon Kennedy is doing by himself takes Chris Redfield and Sheva to do. You fight an El Gigante, and you're in the back of a truck, and both of you have machine guns. You know what you did with Leon Kennedy? You fought one of those with Leon Kennedy. You know what he had? A knife and a shotgun and a dog.
And he won.
He won.
Yeah,
I used my knife the entirety
Because-
of that battle because I didn't want to waste shotgun bullets.
Because Leon Kennedy is awesome,
He's
and Chris Redfield stinks.
And
Agreed.
Here's the thing: it goes into
Leon Kennedy should have been in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
He should have been.
Oh,
He'd have
he's
been.
like-
He would have wrecked face.
We would walk in and be
would've
like, "What's
wrecked
up,
face.
guys?"
that's the real. We really wanted to just make Team Stars or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something
A
like
Stars game would be awesome.
Dude.
that. But okay, here's
A really accurate Raccoon City Survivor game that wasn't awful would be great too.
what they did with Operation Raccoon City is in my head and my eyes want to bleed. But no, going back to some of the better things they've done and what they should have done. Look at Resident Evil 4, and then shortly thereafter we have Gears of War, which does what Resident Evil did with the third person
so much better.
so much better. They do cover based. The guys, sure, there's bullet sponges.
Yeah, and you also see games like Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Uncharted Gears of War. I mean, they took Resident Evil 4 and they took it to a level was way sweet.
And that's the thing; they should have taken it to that next level, and Capcom didn't do it. They didn't know how.
It's not that they didn't know how.
They won't. They just
They
won't.
just said, you know what, we could try, or we could go with something that's safe, and not make. It's the same thing.
Eventually, something's going to give in
Japan.
Japan.
It's the same thing that happened with Square Enix. They did the same thing.
Oh,
Look at the horrible turd that was Final Fantasy 13, 1 and 2. And then you get Final Fantasy 14's initial launch, which was awful, and they had to buy Eidos or Eidos or whatever, so they could have a couple good game. I mean, like,
And you know what's sad though? That company is giving them the best games. Look at what was it?
The new
Deus
Lara
Ex.
Deus Ex,
Deus Ex and
and
New Lara Croft.
the
was
new
good.
Lara Croft. I mean,
yeah.
you look at that for instance. I mean, they took they got a Western company and they were like, oh, these guys can make good games. Where at one point, Squaresoft, not Square Enix, Squaresoft was at the top of the RPG market. Like, I couldn't remember when you thought role-playing game, you immediately were like Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, games like that. And Dragon Warrior, if you wanted to pick something up from, Enix. But when those two companies merged, they had a couple good products, like Dragon Quest 8 was great. 9 was a turd. So it's like they've been hit or miss for a long time. They had magic bullets, and they can't recapture that.
And that's
They really can't.
That's what they're banking on Kingdom Hearts 3 to be another magic bullet.
Well,
because what happens is people who waited so long for this game, they'll have to buy it because they want to finish it.
Yeah, they want to finish the story.
They want to finish the story.
Because unlike other Final Fantasy games, there's a story that's been carrying out for 3 or 12 games.
I mean,
no matter
12,
how many rehashes and reiterations they've made.
I just find it amusing that someone that was like 5 when the first Kingdom Hearts came out is like, what, 18 now?
Yeah.
Something stupid like that.
It's kind of like, you're like, oh man, I love playing Diablo 2, and you're like, man, I've graduated college, I've got like kids, and all of a sudden Diablo 3 comes out.
Yeah.
13 years later. Thank you, Blizzard.
Yeah.
I hate your guts.
Yeah, Blizzard, go to hell.
Or it's like, I was in junior high.
BlizzCon burned to the ground.
I was in junior high when StarCraft came out. Yeah. I'm gonna be 31 this month. Okay, I'm not ashamed to say my age or anything like that, but I'm gonna be 31 this month, man. I waited almost half my life for a Diablo game.
It's very sad. It really it drives me crazy a lot of the time when they take these great franchises and then just sit on them.
And everyone's like, "Oh,
Do you
but
hear
Blizzard,
me, Gabe Newell? Do you hear me?"
But Blizzard could take as much time as they need to make a sweet game." You're
No,
like, "Well, you know
no.
what? Diablo 3 wasn't that
This
great
is why-
anyway."
This is why now that Activision has, Activision's like the fire under their butt saying, hey, turn out stuff.
I tell you what, that reminds me two things I want to get out. One of them, before we wrap it up, one of them is one of the games I am buying for myself. I'm getting, the Dead Rising 3, Rise, and then Crimson Dragon. Because
Crimson Dragon was good because.
I love me some Panzer Dragoon. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
What was your favorite Panzer Dragoon game?
You know what I'm going to say. Saga.
Yeah, you're right. Saga was pretty good.
Saga was...
I've never played Panzer Dragoon.
Panzer Dragoon.
What?
It's a rail shooter, and you're on the back of a dragon.
I've never played.
It's pretty amazing.
I have the last one for the Xbox
Was it
regular.
Order?
Yeah, Order.
Order was good.
Order was fun. It wasn't like a mind-blowingly good game, but it was a fun game. And
Yeah,
Saga needs to be remade in high definition. Period. And I would buy it within a heartbeat for $100. I know that sounds crazy, but that game was outstanding. So
it's like when
redo it.
When I heard they were. It's like when I heard they were re-releasing it, like remastering and re-releasing. What game was it? Lunar.
Yeah,
and
love Lunar.
Lunar Silver Star Story Complete was one of the most amazing RPGs on the what was it?
It was on the PlayStation 1 or the PSP.
It was
they
on
put on both.
The remake was on the PSP, but like.
Well, the original game
was there was one that was
Sega
on
Saturn.
Yeah, Sega Saturn.
1 and 2 were on Sega Saturn.
It was like if they were, if they were re-releasing Arc the Lad, I'd pick that up immediately.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good games that they need to redo and retweak, or just bring back the franchise in some way that would be meaningful and interesting.
It's kind of like
Star Ocean. The most recent one was really good.
Yeah,
so.
It's like, and then all the Tales of games are really good. Still.
Yeah, actually, I can go back and play. Was it Vesperia, and it's good, and then the one on the GameCube is really good.
Tales of Symphonia.
That's still a really good game.
Oh yeah.
And, what was
Tales of Destiny for PS1, where you had the food bag.
This isn't the same company, but Skies of Arcadia was also an amazing game.
I need more Skies of Arcadia games, like 10.
Oh, and also that reminded me, for RPGs, a lot of people were like, Square. Me, I was working designs, because they would port these, like Lunar, they'd port these games over, and I was just eating them up left and right. Like
I can completely agree. Like,
was it East they released on Sega CD, and then they had this one, Albert Odyssey,
Odyssey was
with
good.
Etri and Odyssey
and
coming
so,
later.
What was the game? It was
Magic Knight Ray Earth. That was fun. I have that.
Was a good game.
Yeah, it's old school. Yeah, I know, man. Don't ask. All right, so the other thing, let's see, I wanted to bring up. Did you guys check out the video of the Xbox One in motion, where they had the two guys sitting in front of the couch, kind of explaining stuff and showing you how it all worked? Did you guys check it out? Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'll check it out tonight.
Check it out tonight. It's pretty cool.
If it doesn't have a 4 in front of it, or in the name, I normally don't watch Xbox stuff.
Forza.
And?
Forza.
He's gonna be a PlayStation guy.
Oh, I know, but you're going to check out the Xbox One.
I have an Xbox 360 that I bought and own and enjoyed the 360. I maintain a gold membership. It's just right now the
PS4 is more attractive to you. That's fine.
PS4 is more attractive.
In the long run, it is, but honestly, right now,
I'm just looking forward for Titanfall.
Titanfall is going to be good.
First-person, parkour action with giant robots. Yes, please.
The thing is, people are saying, Microsoft, they've got it on the PC, so then the Xbox One is barren. But that Microsoft considers the Windows operating system their other platforms, so really they just win all around.
I'm hearing rumors of cross-platforming with Titanfall.
I hope so.
With Windows? That'd be kind of cool.
Well, they do run on a PC architecture for Xbox and PlayStation 4.
That would be great.
For Destiny, they could do that.
Well, here's the thing. It's like they both run on a PC architecture, and they both have paid internet services now. I'm hoping someday Sony and Microsoft can come together and just say, you know what? Why can't our systems talk to each other? Because I wanted to go online with... what game was it? It was Armored Core 5. I wanted to go online and kick the snot out of some Xbox 360 users because my system was stronger, hardware-wise. And but then I played the online client and it was laggy and awful anyway, and I felt ashamed and
it's
stopped.
Look how powerful it is, but
the online client that was set up, the servers set up by software were just awful, and I was like, I'm ashamed to even have this game in my system. Threw that away.
I'm looking forward to some new games coming out for the new systems that are original, and
Destiny looks good.
I'm talking about exclusives. I want some exclusives.
Titanfall looks amazing.
Titanfall's gonna be great.
Titanfall looks
Second Son's gonna be good. I want to see what Sunset Overdrive really is.
Sunset Overdrive from
that video was
from
cool.
That video looks really cool. But
I want another God of War game. No, I don't want Ascension. I want a new God of War game with new stuff.
Who left? Who left that company though? You know who left. Say his name. He went to go make Twisted Metal for you. What's his name?
No, but 3 was so
This is
good.
David Jaffe.
Jaffe left.
He left, and because he's gone, like I'm sure he consulted with 3 or had something to do with it just a little bit.
He was 3 was good though. It was a good ending to the series.
And then Ascension was just kind of a money grab.
Ascension was the first game to have multiplayer,
which is a cool idea, but it wasn't like.
Then again, every game has to have multiplayer nowadays because everyone wants multiplayer. I personally, I'm more of a single player, good story, want good gameplay type guy.
Right.
I couldn't give a crap about multiplayer unless it's a game built specifically on multiplayer.
Yeah. Like when I play Splinter Cell, that's something I can enjoy having multiplayer on.
Well, there's a difference with co-op and multiplayer.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
but then
we're playing Spies versus Mercs. The setup for multiplayer is very nice, but I'm like you. I'm a story guy. Give me a good story and like me alone, I can run through.
Well, that's why Modern Warfare was my last Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Because Modern Warfare 2 was garbage.
But honestly, Black Ops 2 is enough like Halo 4 that you might actually like it. It's that weird like everything's
crazy
coming
full circle thing.
Yeah. Some of the weapons in Black Ops 2 are pretty cool.
Yeah, especially that scene with what was it where you're it is early on where you're like using the wingsuits to fly and awesome. It's raining and the graphics are really good at that point. You're like, oh, hey. And then you turn invisible or something later on, and I'm like, oh, hey, that's pretty cool.
That's in the right. I liked Crysis because it was pretty.
Yeah, that's
you find like the stealth camo, and then like you can turn it on, and you can walk up with guys, and you can like crack them in the head. But
other games do that better though. So.
Other games do it better. Like Crysis does it better. But
Crysis was amazing.
So guys, welcome to the finale.
Yeah, finally we got there. It was a long haul.
It's only been an hour and 10 minutes.
I felt like it was much longer. It just goes to show with the awesome conversation.
Yeah. All right, Steve, what you got in the pipe?
What I got in the pipe? I got a couple reviews. One from a streaming TV show. I finally finished enough of
Grey's Anatomy.
Actually, I'm on season 9.
Don't get him started on Grey's. Jeez.
And it felt like
we're trying to wrap it up.
I felt like there's a writer switch up, so I actually enjoyed part of season 8 and most of season 9. Anyway, something I'm watching with my fiance. Shut your face. I've got a couple episodes left on Quick Draw, and then I'll have that review up. I'll have the third section of my GMing world building up, and a review for Pokemon X, and perhaps Persona 4 Arena.
Nice. Marquise.
Thor: The Dark World will be live sometime tonight. My written review as well as the video review we just did. I've got some Shield stuff coming up, and I'll probably do a New Girl review, depending on how much work I get done at the job tonight.
My volume's off. Don't worry about it.
It was one of you guys. Just deal.
I'm sorry. It was the voice commands for Google on my phone, and it happens whether the volume's on or off or not.
That's really weird.
It's because anyway,
it's watching.
Anyway.
It's listening. My phone is listening. It's creeping me out.
I'm trying to fix my webcam, so Chantal and I can do some dueling brother sister reviews. It'll be awesome, and that's what we got going down. We'll probably give it a whirl sometime this week and try to get it up on the site. I don't know what we're gonna do it on just yet. Probably be the first episode of The Blacklist because she hasn't seen it yet, so I'm really gonna push her to watch that.
Cool.
I say, is that still on Hulu?
Yeah. And Chantal, by the way, will be here next week.
Cool.
Nice.
So she said
she'll take my chair because I'll be at class.
Yeah.
Yes, class.
She will be here next week.
I think what was it? The week after that will be Thanksgiving.
So are we off of Thanksgiving apparently because it's a Thursday night, and I'm pretty sure.
I'm just gonna make us do it earlier in the week. You guys.
I mean, that's fine.
Sunday is my birthday.
I want to do it on Sunday. That'd be awesome.
I'm off Monday and Tuesday, so whatever.
I get the Monday would probably be better for me because I get the day after Thanksgiving off.
Well, I was gonna say.
No, that
didn't make sense.
I'm so.
I was gonna say
so
Wednesday. Could you guys do Wednesday of that week?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's so strange because my birthday's usually closer to Thanksgiving.
That's right. That's why we don't do it normally.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we can do it.
What about Black Friday?
Why not Friday?
I guess we could. I'm gonna be staying up.
We can eat. How about this? We can each bring food from our respective homes, and we can just we'll sit down. We'll have a plate. We'll eat our food, and we'll have a Thanksgiving episode of the podcast.
So you can hear clunking and chomping the whole
Why
podcast.
not? I mean, a Thanksgiving episode,
and we can do
we
some
see what we can do.
Xbox One-ing.
Okay.
Because we'll actually have access to that, whereas I'm not buying both systems because I had to buy stuff for my girlfriend for,
Shame on you for being in a committed relationship.
Yeah, I know. She's not allowed to have things for her birthday, our anniversary, and Christmas. So I
See,
just bought that.
that's what sucks is if you've got, like me, where my birthday is the 24th of November, and then Christmas is the next month. Usually people would just go, skip my birthday and go straight to Christmas.
And your anniversary's in January, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Is it February? Or is it...
Don't make him mess up on the podcast.
It'll be July 15th.
Oh, look at him. Oh, look at Steven. Bam.
That's the... Well, July 15th is when I proposed, but our actual anniversary will be
like you guys started dating in
January 15th.
Right, so then you've got... Well, you can do the dating anniversary until the marriage anniversary.
It's kind of strange. I proposed to her exactly 6 months after we started dating.
That's a little weird.
And our
No, she's really big on days divisible by 5.
And our anniversary is coming up too. By the way, the Time Rush anniversary, the 1 year anniversary.
February.
I can't believe it's November already. It hit me today. I was like, wow, dude, we're almost in February. We're almost at the 1 year mark.
I know.
Can you believe it though? Like almost a year ago, you guys started, and then like we were talking about it, and then it was just something we've been talking about, and then you did it, and then I joined in, and then like we've come a long way.
We got a website, and
we got articles, we got stuff on the website.
We got a Facebook page and Time.
We got people that like us.
Or was it YouTube and
we need to put an Instagram
Twitch
page up,
and
actually.
Mm-hmm.
What we can take pictures of for butts.
Well, I can put all my Comic-Con pictures on the Instagram.
Dude,
actually, why don't you put all your Comic-Con pictures on an article?
I've got...
Yes, my master.
Because, well, I'll tell you something in a minute.
Marqees,
Let's wrap this up, though, guys.
Cool.
Everyone needs to get some sleep. So I know we're all sounding kind of drowsy right now. I've been wanting to take a nap since about noon.
Yeah, that's what happens when you work all week.
Yeah, I know. And working overtime these days because life. Anyway, we have mandatory overtime, but that's neither here nor there. So I was just gonna say, what I got working in the pipe is what was it?
Wrestling.
Ice. Was it a little
wrestling review?
I like to get some wrestling up. I also signed up for GameFly to get Call of Duty Ghosts, so we're gonna have to work on games that we can play and maybe do some reviews and game video and all this.
Cool.
Rise, Crimson Dragon. Keeps calling Panzer Dragon. Jeez. Dead Rising 3 and the new Call of Duty. So we'll have 4 games for the Xbox One.
I'm actually
launches
excited,
next week.
You know, when everything gets all...
We got to get with Steve, and we'll probably do the pull list next month.
I need my pull list.
So you need to get your titles. I have my titles. I have titles.
So,
I still am on the fence of what I want to read.
Oh, you guys deal with that later.
So,
anyways, thanks for listening to us, folks, and it's been a great one. So I hope you enjoy the PS4, and
Dude.
I don't know. We'll see you later, hey?
Yeah.
Buy more comics.
Play more games. Do stuff!
Go to TimeRest.com.